Hello, welcome to TJD. We watched Good Time.
I'm Ty.
Jake.
And I'm Drew.
Ty.
I'm Ty. I wanted to try it. See what we gotta keep it fresh.
It was awkward.
Like your mom.
I'm Jack.
I'm Jake.
I'm jacking off. No, I don't like this. We'll just scrap all that.
I'm Drew.
I'm Drew.
Strong start. Oh boy.
But yes, Good Time. Jake, this was your pick. I know it's a 2017 release.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. At the top, would you recommend anyone watch it? I didn't think it'd be that deep of a question. I'd recommend watching it. Drew?
Yeah, I would recommend it.
Yeah, I guess we'll give it a recommendation.
I guess I'll give it a recommendation. Okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad film. I just wasn't floored by it. So it's a recommend, but I'm not could be this is an amazing film.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You're just either recommending or not recommending. We don't got to get into.
Yeah. No. It's worth a watch.
Okay. All right. Spoilers.
Yep.
Oh, I guess I could say what it's about.
Yeah. Maybe.
Two brothers. Actually, maybe this would be one of those where just reading the synopsis would be better at covering everything going on. Not that it's incredibly deep. Oh, there you go. After a heist goes bad, a bank robber spends a night trying to free his mentally handicapped brother from being sent to Rikers Island.
That's a very good synopsis.
He's got to get 10 grand.
Nope. You know what movie I just fucking thought of that I was trying to think of the whole time? Collateral.
It reminded you of... Oh, because of the hair?
Yeah. And even Tom Cruise does have a little scruff in that. Not as much as Robert Pattinson does, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The Safdie brothers directed it. One of the brothers plays his mentally handicapped brother. So, yeah. Kudos to that guy. I thought he did pretty well.
Yeah.
And yeah, spoilers. So, if you want to see it blind, don't listen anymore.
That's funny. If
I
you want
could
to
have
see it
worded
blind, don't listen. So
I'm a wordsmith. Okay. Pro con. Or any noteworthy things to throw out?
I give it pro. Like the tone. Like the atmosphere.
It's a gritty New York movie.
Con? I don't know if that's what the directors were going for or not, but I never really felt anything for Robert Pattinson. I never really felt bad for him.
Why?
He was a master manipulator. You just see him and you're like, this character's a bad character.
That's got to come from somewhere, right?
Yeah. He's obviously dealt with some shit.
He's capable of compassion. Because when he dips into that one hotel room and he gives that lady some juice, he's caring enough to be looking out for people, but he's also out for himself almost 100% of the time. I think he cares about his brother. He just doesn't realize that he's hurting his brother by being in his life. And I can empathize with it. It doesn't necessarily make you feel bad for Pattinson. It makes you feel worse for everyone around him. Like Jennifer Jason Leigh, who obviously was being fucked over the entire time and was just an ATM for him. Because that obviously had happened.
She thought they were something because she was playing vacations with him.
Right.
Yeah.
And he didn't care.
No.
Obviously how quickly he could walk away from that. But nothing, really?
No. I'm like, everything that's kind of came to him is his fault.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, I think he's kind of a trash human being. I mean, yeah, the things you said are true. You did see compassion there when he fed that old lady some juice.
But at the same time, giving her the juice keeps her quiet.
So she wasn't making noise anyway.
No.
Well, she was rousing. She was, and so yeah, he handed it to her, but then he took a drink himself.
You could slowly see as the film progressed that everything around Pattinson was everything was his fault. Everything was you saw the consequences of his actions and how he was harming everyone around him.
Well, I think that final shot of him is kind of the realization, like, oh, I dug myself into a gigantic fucking hole, and it's entirely my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done anything good for anybody, so I guess his only gracious final thing that he did was take the rap for his brother.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I got from the doctor saying.
That's why
Connie did the right thing, and he's where he needs to be.
Yeah, I was like, the only other guess was that he had some sort of power or like power of attorney or something over him and allowed him to go there. So that was the only other thing I could think of, is he had some administrative control over his brother.
He didn't seem like a guy that would know anything about any of that. It's possible, though.
What are you talking about? Like, one thing I will say about Pattinson, for like a kind of a shitty person that he is, he's fucking smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me if he did have something like that over him.
Very resourceful.
Mm-hmm.
Very forward-thinking. Like, there's situations where you're like, how the fuck is he going to get out of this? Or where do you go from here? Like the Adventureland thing where the cops show up, you're like, that'd be it for me. I would never think to take the security outfit. I don't have nuts large enough to walk out there and be like, yeah, I do security here.
Mm-hmm.
My balls aren't even close to that large.
Have your balls even dropped?
Maybe?
No, Ty.
So I can understand maybe not feeling empathy for him. Would you agree that he was a good actor in it?
No, I as I said, Robert Pattinson has really reinvented himself, and compared to that Twilight shit he was always in, this is like a level of acting I never thought I would see from anyone that was in a movie called Twilight.
I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah.
And I went into this kind of like, the trailer intrigued me, but I remember going to the theater like, it's Pattinson, you know, I might get burned by it because who the fuck knows? And I left like, goddamn, Robert Pattinson can act.
Yeah, I agree. Like, for a guy, like, I watched that first Twilight film, and I hated myself for like 2 weeks.
Why did you watch it? I've never seen any of them.
I haven't either. You made a conscious decision.
Yeah, this was back in college.
You didn't watch it with anyone?
No.
You watched it alone?
Yes.
And masturbated.
to Taylor Lautner. No. Wow. No, there was a girl.
It all makes sense now.
There was a girl I was trying to get on a date with, and she wanted to go see the second one. So I'm like, well, fuck. I'm not going into the second one blind.
Was the girl's name Jeff?
Yes. No. So I watched the first one, and then we ended up canceling, so I didn't even see the second one. I'm like, well, fuck. I wasted 2 hours of my fucking life.
Wait. See, you set up a date to go see a sequel to a movie that you didn't care about, but you watched the first one just so you were filled in?
Yes.
Yeah, his mom canceled on him.
Yep. No. Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
So you're saying if like I'm like, hey, let's go see Rampage 2, you want to go watch Rampage? Just so you know.
First off, I'd say fuck yourself. And second off, I'd just go watch Rampage 2. Because I don't care about Rampage 1.
You don't want to watch.
As a matter of fact, this happened. I was forced to watch the second Sex and the City movie. And you know what? I never fucking cared enough to go watch the first one. But I had to hear all fucking about it anyway. God damn it.
I'm sorry, I like to know my continuations.
But it's a continuation you don't care about.
Still.
You don't know how many dongs flew through Sarah Jessica Parker's snatch?
Yeah,
you have to know by watching.
Nor do I care.
I never saw any of those films.
Yeah, I don't watch films about banging horses.
Well,
you kind of did. The comebacks.
Oh, yeah.
God, what a great movie.
Which movie's better, Sex and the City 2 or Comebacks?
Comebacks.
The comebacks. Easily. God. Okay.
But yes, so I had seen his acting in that awful film, and I kind of never forgave him. I was like, I hate you. Like, you are an awful actor, and I had to sit through this. And yes, it was my decision, but I just never thought he'd amount to... Like, look at Taylor Lautner. He hasn't done shit since...
Zac Efron came to mind as someone I wrote off initially that kind of slowly has started to...
But even then, like, he reinvented himself, but I don't know if his acting has gotten better.
Right, I was just going to say, Efron he took better roles where he could just kind of be a funny, dumbass type of character. Mm-hmm. And I like him doing that more than fucking High School Musical or whatever shit
Which
he was in.
Everybody needs a breakthrough.
Hairspray?
I get it.
Right. Hairspray?
He was in Hairspray.
Yeah, Hairspray,
yeah.
I mean, you got to get famous.
Yeah.
And if you're young like that's a good way to do it, is being something garbage that kids like.
Oh, so like all the original Power Rangers are garbage?
Justin Timberlake.
I can't
He was Mickey
mentally...
Mouse Club.
Yeah, exactly.
But even then, at least he could show talents.
Timberlake?
Yeah. God, that cast was loaded that when he was on there. Because I think Brittany was on there, and I think there were 2 other people with them. So, like, I think Christina may have been on it as well at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
Okay.
I didn't watch Mickey Mouse Club.
We're setting the bar remarkably
We
low.
are. But no, Pat, like, there are several actors we could go through that have either reinvented themselves or proved like they're a better actor than we thought they might be.
Right.
I'm trying to think, like, actually, I think Stallone's gone the opposite way.
Seagal?
Seagal had definitely gone the opposite way. Rourke might be one where he was a decent actor, and then he just did shit movies and didn't seem to care, and then The Wrestler came around.
And then what?
And then he went back to shit movies.
Uh-huh.
What about, like, Gary Oldman?
Gary Oldman?
Yeah. Like, I mean, he started out in stuff like The Fifth Element, and not this, I enjoy The Fifth Element, but I'm just saying he was doing weirder stuff, and then...
Or The Professional?
Yeah, and then he came around, I guess. No?
Yeah, The Professional is a great movie.
Yeah.
And I think it was before The Fifth Element.
What about James Franco? Did Freaks and Geeks to get started, then did some stoner comedies.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it did Spider-Man, but, like, that didn't, like, push his actorial prowess.
127 Hours?
Yeah.
Milk? Was he in Milk?
Yeah, he was Milk. Or no, he was Milk's boyfriend.
Yes.
Yes, he was Milk's boyfriend.
He was...
Because Sean Penn was Milk.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Who's milking milk?
James Franco.
Yep.
But then, yeah, he did This Is the End, which is kind of a stupid comedy, but it, like, is meta, so that's what made it good. But then he did The Disaster Artist to push himself as well.
Right.
So I think James Franco's somebody who's gotten better with time. Like, because he also started in something like Your Highness, which is awful.
I would beg to differ.
I don't know.
Justin Theroux's amazing in that movie.
Never saw it. RDJ?
RDJ was always a good actor. He just fucked himself over.
He was smoking meth and shit. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about meth, but...
Everything else.
Yeah. But he was always a good actor. He just didn't get parts because he had a lot of fucking issues.
Keanu?
I think Keanu has gotten better with age.
Barely.
But...
I think Keanu only signs on for roles now where he knows that it fits his ability. He's
so
like,
John Wick?
I can be stoic and angry. That's all I can do. Or I can be Neo.
I I still haven't seen John Wick.
What?
None of them?
None of them. I want to. I just never have. I just never had access to them.
You ever had access to them?
You have access to them all the time.
I don't have
with
the
power
DVD
of the internet.
or
Voodoo.
Netflix?
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know. I'd imagine.
I think John Wick 2 is on Netflix, but again, that's one of them. I'm not going to jump into 2 if I haven't seen 1.
That's fair. For that.
Because
Because you think you'll actually care about the second one.
yes, like I want to see the first one because I know kind of what starts him on his way. So,
Right.
but
You'd rather watch it?
yeah.
John Wick's not on Netflix.
Well, I also have that. I'll just give you that and Hell or High Water.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought we were going to watch Hell or High Water for...
Or we could do that. Add it to your list.
Mm-hmm. I'd be more inclined to watch those than The Leftovers.
I'll fucking kill you. Give it 4 episodes. If you don't like it, I'll fucking kill you.
but
And then you can be done.
But anyways, yeah, let's move on from actors who tried to change themselves.
What do you think of the directing?
I liked a lot of the long shots, like the overhead long shots. I enjoyed those. I was like, I liked the pace and the transportation. Even, I don't know, it just was interesting to me.
Yeah. What do you think?
There were some really cool shots. I dug one in particular. That Pattinson was staying in that apartment, and he's kind of freaking out because he doesn't know what's going on with the guy he brought home, or brought there rather, and it's a tracking shot. They keep him on him the whole time while he's like running down the stairs and doing all this stuff. It was just a cool shot.
And see, that's what I'm talking about too. Like when the cops pull up again, another overhead shot. Yeah, I loved it. The tracking overhead when he gets arrested.
Right.
I was like, that's great. I like the way they did those were great. So I was like, this is like reminds me of the old Grand Theft Auto games where like you were always over ahead, like the originals before they got to 3 in that. So
he got tackled and wasted. Comes up underneath.
Yeah. Story kind of reminded me of GTA 4.
I never played GTA 4.
In terms of being like an immigrant that comes to New York, that has a brother. Well, it was a cousin in GTA.
Yeah. And he always wanted to go bowling.
Well, yeah. Not so much in this movie. No. But you're trying to become something.
Mm-hmm. What do you think his end plan was? They robbed the bank, get their $65,000. What do they do?
Well, his brother, when he got incarcerated, when he was talking to the lawyer, said, my brother told me that, we'll have all this money, we'll go buy a house out in the woods or something, nobody will bother us, and I can go do whatever I want.
A cabin.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were going to try and flee the country, or if they're just going to move, or what they were going to do.
I don't know if Pattinson told him that just to placate him.
And that's he's such a manipulator in this movie that you don't actually know what the real end game is.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you never hear him actually say it. You hear what his brother says, but you don't actually know.
I'm going to ask a question here, because we talk about how much of a manipulator he is and how much he is for himself, but he would do things for his brother.
Yeah.
He was trying to get that 10,000. Do you think he would have blown a guy for $10,000? Would this character have gone down on a man for $10,000?
Probably not.
No, I don't think so either. I think he's too much of a, like, quote unquote tough guy. Like, he would be like, I'm above that. So
He probably would have beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
and tried to take his money, grab his wallet, find out where he lives, tries to rob that place.
Yeah, he doesn't fuck around in this.
Mm-mm. Well, he tried, but then the other non-brother woke up, so...
Do we want to talk about that?
Not really. That scene kind of made me uncomfortable.
Right?
Yeah.
You mean like it's supposed to?
Yeah.
And then if you write an article about it, you're a fucking idiot?
Like,
Okay.
well, like, the giggling part, yes, but, like, I mean, if somebody wrote that this scene makes me uncomfortable, it's like, okay.
No, the scene should be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that a bunch of teenage girls laugh about a girl kissing Robert Pattinson, that doesn't make it problematic.
Mm-mm.
It's not worth writing about. It's stupid teenage girls.
I laughed at shit all the time. Like, when Carrie Ellis cuts off his fucking foot in Saw, I was, like, grinning ear to ear. That doesn't make me a psychopath, or that I think everybody should do that. It was such a weird moment in a film I'd never seen before. I was just, like, it, in an odd sense, brought joy to me. Because it was something I'd never seen before. I was just like, holy shit, they're doing this.
I thought you were fucking around at first.
No, like...
That thing where you're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? That Ty will do. And he'll say the opposite of what he actually thinks.
No,
No, you actually smile when that happens.
When that happened, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. Like, I almost was like in laughter. But not like because I thought it was funny, but because like, holy shit, I've never seen this before.
Right.
So,
it's like they pulled it off.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But that doesn't mean like the film should be, what's, like what you're saying, like, just
it doesn't
because...
mean you become aroused watching people saw their feet off.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't make me, like, want people to start doing it all of a sudden all the time now, and it makes it fine in society. No, I just...
This kind of works.
I was gonna say something.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, that's the only thing that gets me hard anymore.
He only has 2 ankles. He can only do it twice, and then I'm done.
Well, then, I'm like Robert Pattinson. You've used up all of my interest.
Reinstall LimeWire.
Are there actual jigsaws in this universe?
I'm sure. Type in Chevelle. You'll find something.
No. I got all the Chevelle I want.
You won't find Chevelle.
You can just send the pain below.
Yep.
Jokes.
Fitting.
Yeah.
Great title. All right.
But no, like, I'm being serious. Like, that is how I've, like, girls laughing at that doesn't mean that they think the situation itself is good. They're just...
Right. Doesn't mean it's acceptable. It's giggling at something awkward.
Yeah. Because they're like, they're like, oh, that could be me. Ha ha, hee hee.
Right. Or you're a stupid fucking teenager.
Yeah.
It happens.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't condoning doing shit with minors.
No.
And I think he did it to be a distraction anyway.
Yes, he was just doing it because he knew his face was on TV.
Right.
So.
Why do you think she didn't say anything? Shock?
Addicted to trouble?
He might try to get her out of it. Like, I think she, being a teenager,
was infatuated.
Yeah. Thought he was not good for her, but just was actually into her.
Thought he was a good time.
Yeah.
She said herself her ex-boyfriend was a drug dealer, and so she associates with people like that, so...
Yeah, she doesn't snitch. Because she even said, I can't give him up.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, she said that?
Yeah.
To the cop?
Yeah.
No,
she said that to Pattinson.
Oh.
Because he's like...
Yeah, she said, I don't want to make his place hot.
Yeah. So it's just not her place to snitch.
Remember when they pull around Adventureland and they park, and he's like talking about the deep meaning.
She's part of his destiny.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I'm going to go take a shit in this guy's house. How fucking great was that little change in tone? He just gets out of the car. You know, I remember in the theater being like, kind of look at my brother. My brother's like, I'm like, what the fuck?
She bought a hook, line, and sinker.
Did you never say that to a girl?
Well, maybe at one point. After several years of knowing them,
you're my everything. I'm gonna go poo.
I would never say, I'm gonna go poo. That wouldn't happen. But I'd never be like, listen, deep, meaningful shit, I'm gonna go take a shit. It just doesn't... You gotta put a buffer between these statements.
So what?
Or it negates both of them.
So you'd be like, deep, meaningful shit. How about the Seahawks? I'm gonna go take a shit.
Yeah.
There's a buffer.
I hate you.
I know.
We'll see our records at the end of the next season.
Yeah, we will. Anyways, I mean, this probably be up halfway through the season anyways.
And that's optimistic. Realistically, I'll be dead, and none of these will see the light of day. Thanks, food poisoning.
Speaking of food poisoning...
I gotta go take a shit?
No, I'm good. Does he go without eating this whole fucking film?
I thought they got that White Castle.
Oh, they
Yeah,
did
they
get
got
that
White
fucking
Castle.
White Castle. BT
Why, was
Dubs.
was that gonna
White
be
Castle might be a little overrated.
that was gonna be a con for you?
No, I just was asking because we were talking about food. But
What's BT Dubs?
by the way,
Dubs? Like, okay. Alright.
just saying. By the way,
Could have just said, by the way.
no, I need.
You'd rather use an acronym that no one's heard of? I guess I've never heard of.
I was gonna say people have heard of it, but
Good for them.
my BFF Jill. Do you remember that old commercial?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
What's the commercial?
it was something about unlimited texting back for Verizon, and they're like, the mom's like asking her, it's like, who have you been texting? And then like she keeps doing a bunch of fucking acronyms. So she's like, IDK, my BFF Jill, and then the mom's like, well, you got to like, you can't keep doing that, and then she's keeps doing some more acronyms and that.
Remember the collect call for first name Bob, last name We Had a Baby, It's a Boy?
Yes, I do.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And now today they'd be like, what's a collect call? What's a payphone?
1-800-COLLECT.
Yeah.
Carrot Top.
Carrot Top, Mr. T.
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Touching a public phone that someone has had sex with at some point.
Did you?
They were always sticky. No, I never had sex with a public phone. Only private lines. I'm a classy whore.
Who even has a private line anymore?
Drug dealers, probably. Allegedly.
Why allegedly?
Yeah,
No,
I'd
they
hate
probably
for
do.
the drug dealers to come find me. This vague statement. Oh.
That is not illegal to have.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I think I was thinking more their line of work and attributed it to the private line. Stupid. All right. How about cons?
White Castle.
God. Personal preference is not a con,
Oh.
sir. Actually, personal preference can be a con. That's just a stupid fucking con, though. But you could do it.
I would say, actually, I think it's fine. But, I did not care for the, extra guy.
Which extra guy?
The one he thinks is his brother.
Oh, the one that had his face all fucked up?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Like, I enjoyed his story in that. I don't know. He just seemed like a fucking tool.
A dirtbag?
Yeah. I mean, he was, but...
Movie with dirtbags.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he even bought a hooker.
Did he buy a hooker?
Well, they asked him how much it cost her to be banging her. Remember when they were getting the axe or whatever?
Who does that
The
in
acid.
front of their friends?
I know, right?
That was pretty weird.
I mean, they
Movie with scumbags.
Yeah.
I guess. All right.
I gotta. It's a little con. I didn't really think that Pattinson's supposed girlfriend was all that amazing.
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah.
What's she been in? I recognized her, but
Hateful Eight.
never saw it.
Was she Domergue?
Yep.
Really?
That was her.
I don't know. She was just kind of there.
She's annoying as fuck, but I think that's by design.
She's an adult living with her mother.
A spoiled brat.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not in it much. She pretty much fucks off after like the first.
Yeah. That's what I said.
You said she was done, but she does make one, like you do hear her voice later.
Right.
So, but yeah, she's pretty much out of the film. But
yeah, that would have been a longer movie if she would have gone with them.
Mm-hmm. Con, the naivety of some people.
Like who?
Like the person who puts them up in their house after they get dropped off on the bus.
And the girl.
The girl.
Manipulator.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying the
He's
naivety.
saying God bless and
Them in the
comes out.
fucking bank and not thinking, oh yeah, go in the back and get us fucking money, and not realizing they're gonna throw a fucking ink thing in there. Fucking ink cartridge.
I think Pattinson might have suspected. Well, maybe not, because he did ask his brother if he wanted to hold it, but they did kind of prepare for it because they had the other clothes under what they were wearing. But still, I don't know why you'd let your brother hold it if...
And why not you check it?
Yeah, probably should have checked it. Also, how'd it go off? Are they on like
think
a
there's
timer?
Like a timer or proximity away from...
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a proximity or a timer. It just depends. So.
Been a while since I robbed a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get away with it?
Well, I don't know.
Jake is not your real name, is it?
Who cares?
It's Carl.
Carl. Yep. Carl Urban. I've let myself go.
But spelled with a C. Carl with a C.
As opposed to a K.
Yeah.
Oh, is it with a K?
Yeah.
I thought you meant the last name.
Yes.
Like Carl Curbin?
No, it just...
But why?
Oh, no.
Well, cut that shit right out.
Well, apparently, regarding to the plans that Pattinson had with his brother, just to shed a little more light on it, he does say that he wants to go to Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be in Virginia?
Yeah, because when him and his brother are throwing away all those masks and everything, his brother goes, "I'm cold." And he goes, "Oh, you're cold?" And he said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, well, let's go to Virginia, man."
Mm-hmm.
Well, he could have just picked a place like that his brother would like recognize the name of, because Virginia isn't exactly a warm weather state either.
No.
I think it would have been fine if he would have actually gotten all the money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, is if he would have got all the money and they would have gone to Virginia, it could have been completely fine.
Thing is, how long could they have lived off $65,000?
Probably a decent amount of time.
Depending, I guess, where you end up, but
Assuming he, gets a job and is on the straight and narrow.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
He seems the type, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
He's totally going to integrate himself back into society.
That's the thing, though, is I don't know if he's a criminal out of necessity or just because it's what he's good at. We don't really know. We have no backstory. He doesn't get along with his grandmother.
I would like to infer that it's by necessity because he didn't have anywhere to go.
Right.
And he's just kind of destitute, looking for the next thing. Oh, can I borrow your phone? Oh, can I borrow your car?
Right.
Oh, yeah, I locked myself out of my house. Can I come in?
Yeah.
You know.
I know I'm not on the bus manifest. Can you drive me an extra 2 blocks?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's just something he's always had to do. See, like, I was thinking of this, and I thought back to, like, The Town, where we had criminals, you know, and one who would do anything for his quote-unquote brother, and, you know, Ben Affleck to Jeremy Renner. Not really his brother, but they were like brothers. And I actually, like, felt empathy for Renner and Affleck, but I just never did with Pattinson. But at the same time, I thought Affleck had more of a chance to go on the straight and narrow. Not Renner, but Affleck did.
So why would you feel empathy for Renner but not Pattinson?
Yeah, and maybe I didn't feel it for Renner, but I think Renner, you saw maybe a little bit more of Renner's backstory. Like, they at least divulge more of his backstory. Affleck does. He goes into it. And so maybe then you kind of see where he comes from. It's something that was kind of like just the situation he was put into.
Well, there's a lot of banter in that, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe you just find Renner more likable.
And that could be, too. Like, the interactions, like, he doesn't treat everyone like shit.
Yeah, I think he cares more about more people than Pattinson does. Like,
right.
Granted, he's not great to other people, as he beat the shit out of a bunch of people.
He was a fucking nut job, too.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, his family, obviously, he was very close with, and Affleck, too, so... Can I say that watching this movie reminded me of another film that I don't know, it's been a while since I watched it, but it kind of reminded me of Running Scared.
Oh, with Paul Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Color palette, maybe?
Maybe a mixture of that, like how kind of like eerily, like some of the tones and stuff are.
Always trying to get something to cover for himself.
Right.
And like crazy shit starts to happen, and like everything kind of starts to snowball after a while.
A lot of nighttime, a lot of neon.
Yeah, it's all in one night, so just like Running Scared.
I know the pro too. The fucking like music.
Yeah.
The music. Holy shit.
Yep. It's got a great soundtrack.
I think it could use a little Kelly Clarkson.
Wholeheartedly disagree. Wait, if by Kelly Clarkson you mean Iggy Pop, then I understand.
Why would I mean Iggy Pop?
Because Iggy Pop's in this.
Iggy Pop did that song.
The last one?
Yeah.
Let's say, was that like his, what's his fucking name? Oh my gosh. Oh, I blanked. Never mind. Fuck me. Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash is hurt.
No, that wasn't a cover.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you know, Johnny had disappeared for a while. That he did his own cover of Hurt, and so like as one of his last things, and
Iggy
that
Pop's alive,
sounded
right?
not, yeah, as far as I know, but that sounded nothing like Iggy Pop.
You heard a lot of Iggy Pop.
I've heard a little, but
he's like 800 years old now,
and did a lot of drugs.
Still takes his shirt off though.
Well, good for him.
Better shape than me.
It's gonna be him and Keith Richards at the end.
Yep. There can only be one though.
Highlander
at the battle to the death.
I'd watch that.
The winner becomes immortal forever.
Who would you rather be immortal, Iggy Pop or Keith Richards?
If I could just kill both of them.
What's wrong with Keith Richards?
He wants to
What's
be
wrong with Iggy Pop?
I don't know.
He wants to be a Highlander. Leave him alone.
Yeah, it should be me.
You're gonna go cut off Keith Richards' head?
He'd probably thank me. I think he's been trying to die for a while now.
It's just amazing how many people he's outlasted. When you think about it. Oh, fuck. I mean,
Abraham Lincoln.
Prince.
Jesus. Prince. Yeah, he did outlast him. Wow. God, he was probably in his 20s when Prince was born.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Michael Jackson.
That's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. He just keeps taking their souls.
Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington.
Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was depressing. Can we agree we'd all feel better if Keith Richards were dead?
No, I can't say we still can't say that. He's never done anything to me personally, so
that's what it takes, huh?
No, not necessarily, but I'm just saying he's not done anything like
this
bad.
Hitler guy never did nothing to me. Not the best argument.
No, I'm just saying though, he's never name the worst thing Keith Richards.
I don't
done.
wish death on Keith Richards.
What's this Yahoo alert?
Keith Richards found dead.
Dude, what if that happened?
Dude, that would be... I'd delete the pod. I'd be like, I somehow made this happen.
Oh.
Like, he fell down a flight of stairs while, I don't know.
I would just start handing you a list of people who I want you.
Yeah. I'll write them in my death note.
Yep. Wait, who's in that movie?
Nobody.
Oh. I thought it was William Dafoe.
Well, he's a voice.
Ah, gotcha.
You don't need to watch it.
Okay.
It's not for you, Ty.
It's better than people probably say. That doesn't mean much, though.
Oh, so it's like Godzilla 2000.
Yep.
It's probably better.
Yeah, maybe. Did I see Godzilla 2000?
Oh, I meant Godzilla 98.
Yeah,
whichever. The Roland Emmerich.
Oh.
The Matthew Broderick one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 98.
Because, yeah, Godzilla 2000 is the one they made because the 98 one was so bad. Japan was like, fuck that.
Don't you remember? There's a stinger at the end of the Godzilla egg.
Yeah, it busts out. And then, but I think in Godzilla 2000 they even said that wasn't a Godzilla, it was just a mutated monster that attacked New York.
With the name Godzilla.
They retconned the whole movie?
They in Japan, they did.
Wow, that's pretty bad when you have what you try to build up as a blockbuster. Japan's just like, we're going to pretend that never even fucking happened.
Yep.
Because it destroys the legacy of a giant lizard movie.
Oh, it really wasn't Godzilla, though. It looked like a giant fucking T-Rex.
That's what we thought Godzilla was.
Wait, Godzilla's not T-Rex?
I never really saw him as a T-Rex. Anyways, that's not good time.
Let's argue about what kind of dinosaur Godzilla is.
He's an iguana.
A big fucking iguana?
Yeah.
I think he's like Reptar.
I mean, he looks a lot like Reptar.
Actually, Reptar looks a lot like him. Godzilla did come first.
Yep, you're right.
And Busta Rhymes did the voice of Godzilla.
So the way we find out is we tweet Busta Rhymes and ask him what kind of dinosaur Reptar is. And then we'll know what Godzilla's supposed to be. That's the easiest solution.
Can't we just ask Bryan Cranston?
Nope.
Or Matthew Broderick?
Nope.
Or Hank Azaria?
Nope. I'm gonna hate this pod.
Yes, I am too. This is Jaws-esque.
You mean trash?
Yes. I honestly, I don't know where to go with... Can I have my breakdown of this film? There was nothing great about this film, but there was nothing, bad.
Mediocre.
Yeah. It's a fine film to watch, but it nothing, really sticks out to me.
So I got a question then. What would it have to do to be great? What could it have done to distinguish itself more?
That is a good question. Honestly, I think I would have enjoyed something a little bit more had there been more of a, not necessarily a bounty on his head, but say he owed somebody the wrong money. I thought that's maybe kind of what it was, is he owed a bookie or something, but then I found out, no, just a bail bondsman.
So you wanted more stakes?
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't find him empathetic. I get he's trying to help his brother, but at the same time, I was like, what's he going to do when he gets his brother out? He's just going to put him in the same situation that he's in now.
Well, if there were more stakes, like you're saying, he also would have been more justified in everything that he did.
And
so then you could have rooted for him more.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that.
You want a shitty character that is terrible, that has high stakes going for him? Go watch Mark Wahlberg in The Gambler.
Isn't that a song
No.
by Kenny Rogers?
It's a movie.
Kenny Rogers wrote a song called Mark Wahlberg and the Gambler.
It's a new one.
And he does like a Marky Mark impression through the whole thing.
I fucking hate Mark Wahlberg and The Gambler.
I've heard. You're like the only person I know that's ever seen that fucking movie.
It's...
And you're pissed about it.
He's a piece of shit, dude. He's a piece of shit.
But I'm just saying, like, a little bit more stakes. Maybe I root for Pattinson a little bit more. Or maybe it ends up with more consequences. Or like, him getting caught by the cops maybe is a godsend to him.
I'd say it's a godsend to his brother.
It is a godsend to his brother, I'll grant you that.
I kind of like that there wasn't unnecessary pressure on it. I mean, the cops are already after him for most of the movie. But the fact that he's made a conscious decision, this is the best way to go about doing this, and watching how far he digs that hole, I thought was the most like entertaining part of the movie. So I guess I didn't personally need that, but I could see you wanting that and it making it more enjoyable.
And not to keep comparing it to The Town, but I think they kind of share some similar traits. That was their thing, is they were trying to get out from under somebody. So that's what their stakes was. It was that mob boss that ran the flower shop they kept trying to get out from under. That's why they had to keep every job they did, they had to pay him some.
Right.
So.
Well, this was that last thing you do before, like that cop, like, oh, it's my last night on the shift, I just got to get through this, and the motherfucker gets shot. Like, that's kind of what this is. Like, I need 10 grand, get my brother, we get the fuck out of here, and everything will be fine. Because no one will be looking for us. We're going to go to another fucking state, and it doesn't work out.
By the way, I want to ask, I never actually saw that episode of Cops. That woman stabbed herself.
Yeah.
After a cop tackled her.
So if I remember right, the boyfriend had called saying that she was like swinging a knife at him and stuff, and that he was worried about her. They wanted them to go talk to her just to get her calmed down or make sure everything was okay. And then she started getting all erratic and shit.
She drove the van into the cop car
and waving a knife around, and then they tackle her and it stabs herself.
Now, is that the cop's fault?
Oh, man. No?
I don't think it is. No. She literally brandished the knife at the cop and swung at him.
It's a cop defending himself. You shouldn't have a knife.
Yeah. And swing it at another person.
You should not be swinging it, especially at a cop.
Yeah.
And it's not like he tackled her with the intent of
that happening.
Okay, I just thought I'd ask. So.
No, I'd say no.
I will say there were no bounds that Pattinson, Connie would go through. He made out with a 16-year-old. He hung out in an old woman's room in the hospital. He beat the shit out of a security guard, then framed him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, like, I appreciate the depths he was willing to go to, but it just was like, okay, like, he's doing it, but doesn't make it right? No, obviously not. But I didn't feel like he was justified in what he was trying to accomplish, because he was just trying to get an extra 10 grand to bond out his brother. So,
well, I really think it comes back to the stakes for you. Like, knowing you, it's one of those, like, your family. You would do anything for your family. A lot of people say that. I do anything for my family. So when you watch a movie like this, and you see Connie doing all this crazy shit, you're like, wow, that's really fucked up, but I also would do anything for my family. It gives it relatability. When that's not there, you're just kind of like, wow, he beat the fuck out of a security guard, and they poured acid in his mouth, and like, they're going crazy. Like, they're going... I don't know how to word it. They're doing everything they can to get by, but there's no relatability there.
But
because
like you said, and I think the relatability is he's not good for his family.
Right.
So, like, I feel like you or I or Drew would be good for their family, helping them. Even if he helps his brother, he's just going to put his brother back in the same situation.
But in his mind, he didn't like the grandmother, and that must be where they were before he took him wherever.
Well, and I think they had a troubled upbringing, too, because the brother had mentioned something about their grandma
Throwing pans.
Yeah.
Right. So, in his mind, he was doing that. So Pattinson's like, I would do anything for my family. So he's doing all this shit, but you don't really know, because he's such a piece of shit, and there's so little that's actually, like, concrete in terms of motivation and shit, that you can't really, it's hard to root for him, because you don't know the angles. Because you see him twist everybody else in the movie to get exactly what he wants, and it makes you think, I don't really know the end game for him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
It's a more complex character than I thought would originally be in a movie called Good Time about criminal shit.
He never said dynamite either.
Does it lose points?
Yes.
Okay. That's fair.
Also, I'm sorry, that was one of the stupidest deaths. The last one.
The guy that falls?
Yeah. It was like...
He was drunk. Made sense. You don't think so?
Nah.
Okay.
Not just me, though. I was just like, okay.
Did anybody else die?
I don't think the security guard OD'd.
No, because they just wheeled him off. He woke up.
No, I don't think anybody else died. I think it was just him.
Yeah.
So one death, that's not bad.
Nope.
Do we want to do scenes?
Sure. My favorite scene would probably be the... Fuck. I hadn't actually thought about it.
Oh, I was going to say, no, not that scene.
Yeah, the fuck. It's good because... No.
No.
I'd probably go with the flashback scene. Even though it's not, like...
central to the story.
Yeah, not really at all. It doesn't really further the plot, but it's kind of a weird, like, pit stop into this fucking stranger's life.
It's kind of like that, what was that fucking movie with, Vanderbeek we watched?
Rules of Attraction.
Rules of Attraction, where that guy who the one girl's been pining after just has this whole story about how much he drank and how much sex he had.
That you claimed was too long, even though it's like 2 minutes.
It's too long.
This fucking guy.
But no, that's what it was like. It was like that. Just kind of thrown in there.
Was this one too long, too?
No, this one was fine.
Probably longer than the other one.
Yep.
But yeah, he kind of goes off on like, I just got out of fucking jail the other day and they dropped me off in front of a liquor store and, what am I supposed to do? And I spent the money I had in my account, so it shows him down in a bottle of fucking booze. Then he's like, I called my buddy up and his fucking drug dealer buddy comes by and they like give each other a hug and they go to some fucking acid dealer's place and get this big Sprite bottle of acid, which Sprite was probably thrilled that it could be included in this movie. But we get taken down off YouTube. Fuckers. Not by Sprite.
No. Let's not disparage Sprite. We disparage Shasta.
Yeah,
but
I enjoy Sprite.
Sprite. Tastes just like LSD.
I will say Sprite fucked me over one year, though. I won a hat for the Olympics. It was a Sprite Olympic hat, and it literally was just a stitched stick man holding a ball. And I was like, fuck you, Sprite.
Do you still have this?
No, I lost it, but I was so fucking pissed.
It sounds pretty amazing.
It was awful. I'm gonna Google it, see if I can find it, because it was so shitty.
But anyways, this guy just tells a story about they go meet up with this guy and get all this acid, and they go to the arcade and they're, dealing acid out to people, and some guy shows up that's freaking out because he robbed a place, and then the cops show up looking for that guy, and they take off to Adventureland, and they hide this fucking bottle of acid and a bunch of money in one of the amusement park rides, and he ends up, catching a ride in a cab, I think, and the guy freaks out when he mentions that he just got out of jail and he wants his money, and he tries to explain that when he gets back to his place or wherever he's having him taken, that, his mom's going to come out and pay for the ride and everything will be cool, and he doesn't want to go back to jail, so he gets nervous and he jumps out and he fucks his face up. And the moral, or I guess the point of the whole scene is, this is how I fucked my face up, and you confused me for your brother. But it goes off on this weird fucking tangent, or I don't know, it's kind of fascinating, and I like the way they shot it. It was really eclectic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's probably my favorite.
I don't know if I'd say this is my favorite or anything, but I don't know, it was just a strange scene that stood out to me. When Pattinson's breaking his brother out of the hospital, and he happens to con himself onto this bus, and it's taking him all over town and stuff like that, and he happens upon this lady that was on the bus with him, and basically looking for a place to crash, and he says, "Oh God, God bless you. Like, we need a place to. I need. Can I use your phone? Can I use your phone? We need to use your phone. We're kind of stranded." And so this lady lets him in to use the phone, and then it goes from using the phone to, "Oh, can we stay here for a few hours until my mom gets off of work so she can come pick us up?" And so this lady lets him stay there for 7 hours. All the while, he's talking to this 16-year-old girl, learning some stuff about her, making phone calls to all these people to try and get out of there or better their situation. And it ends up not being his brother that he broke out. It ended up being this guy that Jake was just talking about. And so he's dealing with all that. And it's just a bunch of hectic, crazy stuff that happens in a very short amount of time.
So my scene would probably be, man, you guys took two of the best. Man, yeah, that's, you know what? When he's on the phone and he's like dyeing his hair, and he has that little back and forth with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, hope you didn't use the one on the bottom. I can't tell you what color your hair is going to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, it just bleached as shit. But, I thought their interactions were, like, funny, genuine. He was actually, like, that was the nicest I'd seen. Even to his brother, I had seen him to somebody, which was weird. So,
only momentarily.
Yeah. I thought he treated her nicely until he needed to use her, or he needed to distract her, and then, yeah, shit went bad. But I liked their interactions. And you also even found out a little bit about the girl. Like, she's like, I'm always up, I'm watching videos or calling people, and she's like, oh yeah, I smoke weed, and it was my ex-boyfriend's, and I don't know. I thought their interactions were pretty good, so.
Alright. Anything else? It's been a low-key pod.
Yes, it has. I was gonna say, I didn't even get a chance to go on IMDb and check if there was any interesting facts or anything, so
So we have to stall?
No, we don't have to.
Drew, have you killed anyone lately?
Yeah, all the time.
The movie made $3.2 million as a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, 80% user review, a Metacritic score of 80.
What was the budget?
I couldn't find that.
It had to have been higher than 3, right? Well, maybe not.
Maybe not. I mean,
there's not really anybody other than Pattinson. The security guy, by the way, is the guy from the Tom Hanks movie, Captain Phillips.
Oh, I am
that goes.
I am the captain now.
Yep, that's him.
I wondered if that was
No
him,
fucking way. Box
it-
office was 3.2 mil.
Oh, I said that.
Yep.
And it has a 7.3 on IMDb.
It's not bad.
No.
All right, reviews.
Sure.
Okay. I saw this in the theater. I was pretty pleasantly surprised by it. I didn't really put a lot of stake in Robert Pattinson as an actor, and this kind of changed my opinion on that. I think he's got range. I think he's really trying to distance himself from Twilight and the stuff that kind of got him popular and trying to branch out into more artistic type of stuff, kind of like Daniel Radcliffe, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And other people before him. But a fun movie, I think. Pretty exciting, gritty. It kind of goes all over the place. It's kind of like Collateral in the sense that you go along for a crazy joyride for one night. And I think that's... I don't know that I'd call it a genre movie, but I like those where you kind of just you're kind of with them the whole time, it feels like. I don't know what the fuck you would call that. Overnight movie? Question mark?
Overnight movie.
Sure. But yeah, it's got a lot of drugs, a lot of fucking people with problems. Yeah, I sympathize with Pattinson because I guess I took it a different way. I thought that he really had his brother's best interest at heart. He just didn't know how bad he was for his brother. But I actually hadn't thought of it the other way, that, you know, if he's such a master manipulator, why would you believe anything that he says? There could be something there. Unless I heard from either Pattinson or the directors or anything, I guess I don't know the real motivation for Pattinson and if he's telling the truth or whatever. But in my mind, when I saw it, that's how I took it. Parts of it are genuinely sad, surprisingly. At least affected me that way. Like the ending, we didn't really talk about it, but did you think it was a happy ending?
I think it was the best ending for everyone involved.
And it's not always the easiest ending.
No.
Because he didn't seem happy.
No.
He kind of started
participating,
but, you know, the beginning showed that he didn't enjoy doing any of that type of stuff. But, yeah, I think you're probably right. It's probably just better for everybody. But I loved this movie. I'd probably give it a 9.5.
Go ahead, Drew.
This is my first time seeing this. I had no idea what to expect. Seeing Pattinson in this. This motherfucker has range that I didn't even know existed. It's kind of crazy seeing movies like this, like Running Scared or Collateral or A Good Time. And you know, most of the people that are in these movies aren't genuinely good people at heart. And Pattinson here is no exception. I would say his character is a little more redeemable than, say, a Wahlberg in The Gambler. Just very small glimpses of redeeming qualities. But you can see that Pattinson's just kind of in it, mainly for himself, a little bit for his brother. Pattinson's outstanding. Like I couldn't believe how good he was in this. The shots are great. The music is very, very pins and needles all the time. You always kind of wondered what Pattinson was going to do next, or what, you know, how much further down the rabbit hole he was going to go. And, you know, one thing just leads to another and another and another. And, you know, when is this going to end? When is he going to get caught? You know, it's just kind of a crazy ride that you're on. That being said, I genuinely enjoyed it. I definitely watch it again. I don't know. In terms of entertainment, I'd probably give it an 8.
Yeah, like I said, I think Pattinson does a great job in this. Like it's amazing to see him differ himself from Twilight, as we discussed, and I think it's better for it. Can't wait till he's Wolverine. Wait, what?
That's not actually happening.
No,
right?
not that I'm aware of. Oh my god, that'd be a terrible.
That's just not a good cast.
No, but he does great. I think the film it's a fine film. I don't know, something didn't connect with me that it pulled me all the way in, and some of it was probably just the lack of stakes that we discussed. But I think it's a fine film. There are some great tracking shots. Some of the stuff just from overhead I think is done very, very well and is engrossing, but you know, it's just that. It's not great. It's not bad. So I give it a 6.5.
Okay.
So Drew, your pick is next.
I wanted to do something that either one of you guys haven't seen. Well, one person hasn't seen. There were 2 films I was going to choose between. I couldn't remember the other one, but one of the ones I was thinking of was Any Given Sunday, with Pacino and Cameron Diaz, Jamie Foxx, Dennis Quaid,
LL
Cool J, yeah,
Lawrence Taylor,
Terrell Owens.
Yeah,
never saw it.
It's a great film.
It's pretty good one. There's another one that I had too that I didn't think Ty had seen, but I can't remember what the hell it is. So either one of those 2. Yeah.
She got a great ass.
Yeah.
Not in that film.
Apparently, he was supposed to be a cokehead in that movie, which would have explained screaming, "She got a great ass," and you got your head all the way up it, or just the way that he acted in that movie. Yeah. Fun fact.
All right. So Pacino is not a great actor?
Oh, he's a great actor.
Oh, okay.
He's also probably insane. That probably helps with acting, though.
Yeah, that's true. So Keanu is insane.
Maybe.
Only if you kill his dog and steal his car.
Spoilers.
Oh.
You should know that, actually. It's in the fucking trailer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about the dog part.
Spoilers, he kills his dog. And
Keanu doesn't. Someone else does.
I knew that from people talking about
Excellent!
it. So.
Not excellent.
Oh, yeah.
I am an FBI agent.
Point Break?
Yes.
Never saw it.
Either have I.
I haven't either.
What? The fuck you say?
I've seen, like, about half of it.
We just lost all of our credibility.
Yeah, I know. So how high was our credibility?
What are you talking about? I quoted Bill and Ted.
Oh yeah, we got our credibility back. Why would Point Break be our credibility?
And only one of us seen it be the main... I've seen about half of it, so... Yeah. I saw the, first hour, and then I've seen parts of the second half. I never watched the whole thing, though. Anyways, alright, well, we'll look forward to that next week. Any last thoughts before we go into our little ramble at the end here?
I got nothing. You?
No.
Okay. Any causes we want to support? I'm just fucking with you guys. I just wanted to see you squirm.
Hands Across America? Farm Aid?
Is it bad that I couldn't think of an actual cause?
Make-A-Wish Foundation?
I was going to say PETA, but...
Yeah. Peter Parker?
Yeah, PETA Parker.
Parker Posey.
God.
All right. So yeah, that'll do it for this week of TJD. Like, share, subscribe, Facebook, Twitter, Libsyn, YouTube, fuck Lionsgate. TJD movie reviews at gmail.com. Tell your friends, tell your wife, tell your family. They're raping everybody up in here.
We've already done that.
Your family's raping everybody?
Yep.
Oh God.
Up in here.
If your husband works
here.
for Lionsgate, you should divorce him and take him for everything he's worth.
Or your wife.
Oh yeah, no, equal opportunity revenge.
Tell them to eat a dick and divorce them.
Right.
And say from TJD.
With a heart.
But don't bring us into your litigation, please. We can't afford that.
Allegedly.
No,
okay. we can't afford it.
Just represent yourself, man.
Then
you only got to pay court costs.
Yep.
Yep. And those aren't always cheap.
Right.
So, all right. That'll do it for this week. I'm Ty.
Jake.
And I'm Drew. Fuck Lionsgate.
Bye.